So, Avengers Infinity War is just under a month away, and that means it's time for another super original theory video, as is tradition.
Canadian Prince now dipping his arms into the pudding, as is tradition.
So, how I'm going to break this down is I'll first talk about some of the theories I think are totally wrong, and then I'll get into some of the theories I really like and go all out and explain exactly how I think the movie is going to go down. Obviously, if you're one of those people who think that theories are spoilers, consider this your warning. Now let's kick off with the theories that I think are just plain wrong, and most of these have everything to do with the Soul Stone. The Soul Stone is obviously one of the most speculated about elements of the movie because it's one of the 6 Infinity Gems, but it's one of the only ones that we don't know where it is. To quickly recap, the 6 Infinity Gems all fit onto the Infinity Gauntlet, a powerful weapon slash magical item that the big bad of the series, Thanos, is trying to put together. Each gem has a different power, and if Thanos can put all of them into the gauntlet, then he can extinguish half the life in the universe with just a snap of his fingers. Now, most of the gems have already appeared in previous Marvel films, so we know that the Mind Gem is in Vision's head, the Reality Gem is with the Collector on Nowhere, the Power Gem is with the Nova Core on Xandar, Doctor Strange is wearing the Time Gem around his neck, and the Space Gem was stolen by Loki at the end of Thor Ragnarok. So that leaves just the Soul Gem. And one of the most popular theories about the Soul Gem is that it's actually a person. More specifically, it's Heimdall, one of the Asgardians from the Thor movies. The reason for that is that Heimdall's power is that he can sense all the souls in the universe. Not only that, his eyes are the color orange, which also happens to be the color of the Soul Gem. Now, the problem with that theory is that at the start of Infinity War, Heimdall will be on the ship of Asgardians with Thor and Loki. And we already know that Loki has the Space Gem. So while it would be convenient to have 2 stones in the same place for Thanos to collect, it isn't the most narratively interesting thing the movie makers could do. Thanos getting a gem, and therefore getting that much more powerful, has to be a really big narrative moment, and one with a really big cost for our heroes. So not only is it better storytelling if he gets the gems one at a time after some kind of climactic battle, it's also what the filmmakers, the Russo brothers, have said they're aiming for. And given that, having Thanos just swoop in and get 2 of the stones at the very start of the movie just wouldn't be that interesting. I could also say that we see shots of the gauntlet from later in the movie in the trailer, and there's only 2 gems in it, but we know that Marvel like to lie in their trailers. After all, if you watch the Thor Ragnarok trailer, they digitally gave Chris Hemsworth his eye back after Cate Blanchett viciously ripped it out during film production. So mainly because I think the movie is going to open with Thanos taking the Space Gem from Loki, I don't think Heimdall will have or be the Soul Gem as well. And that's why I think the second most popular Soul Stone theory is also wrong. And that theory is that the Soul Stone is in Wakanda. And that's because in Black Panther we see that the earth in Wakanda is able to grow this magical heart-shaped herb. And if you take it, you're able to step into the spirit realm and speak to your ancestors. So because the Soul Stone is in the ground, it fell there in a meteorite, this herb is able to let you communicate with the souls of the dead. But I don't think that's quite right. We know from the trailer that the Avengers hatch a plan to draw Thanos and his forces to Wakanda where they can meet them in a final confrontation. But we also know from the trailer that the way they do this is by using the Mind Gem in Vision's head as the bait. Thanos needs the Mind Gem is in Wakanda, so Thanos attacks Wakanda. Inevitably, Thanos will probably overcome the forces of Wakanda, and that means he'll get the Mind Stone. So again, if the Soul Stone is also there, would the writers just happily give him 2 stones at once? Like, would they really give us a big dramatic moment of Thanos ripping the Mind Stone out of Vision's head, and then he turns around, looks down at the ground and says, "Oh, this one's here too." And then he kind of just levitates an orange rock from the earth and puts it in his gauntlet. That's just not interesting, and that's why I think it's not right. Lastly, we've got the super nerdy theories that big comic characters like Adam Warlock or Captain Marvel will swoop in at the end of the day and save everyone. The problem with those theories is that unless you're a super hardcore comic fan, that would just feel like a super cheap Deus Ex Machina of an ending. Imagine if you went to see these movies and had never read a comic in your life, and then at the end, some character you'd never heard of before swoops in to save all the characters you know and love. It would be really lame, and probably a bit confusing. It'd be like if you were reading The Lord of the Rings for the first time, and you get to the part where Frodo's been paralyzed by Shelob, the big mama spider, and he gets taken to the Tower of Cirith Ungol by the orcs. Now, in the books, Sam overcomes his fear, and he manages to take down almost an entire orc tower by himself to save Frodo. It's a great bit of character development. That's how you write a story. But if Adam Warlock and Captain Marvel swoop in to save the day, it'd be a bit like if Frodo was taken to the Orc Tower, and then he's saved by Katniss Everdeen, who we've never seen before, and she kills all the orcs with an explosive arrow, straps the ring to another arrow, and fires it off into Mount Doom, and saves the day for everyone. I mean, you wouldn't expect it, but that doesn't mean it's good. And that's why I don't think there's gonna be a Deus Ex Captain Marvel. Or at least not until after her solo movie. But now we come to what I think will happen. And buckle up, kids, because if my Last Jedi predictions were anything to go by, I'm here to bat another home run. The first thing you need to know is a lot of people are going to die. Like a lot of them. And the movie is going to waste no time in showing us that.
And the pudding has just been knocked over. Oh, this does not go with tradition at all.
We'll pick right back up from the Thor Ragnarok post-credits scene with Thanos appearing to attack the ship full of Asgardians. At this stage, he'll already have the power gem and he'll use it to totally destroy the Hulk and Thor as they try and defend some escaping Asgardians. Some of which, like Valkyrie, might get away. Hulk and Thor are tossed out into space, and in the wreckage, Loki appears with the space gem in hand. He'll pretend he was working for Thanos the whole time and give it to him. Thanos will thank him, accept it, and put it into the gauntlet. But after a beat, he'll turn around and break Loki's neck. Meanwhile, the Guardians of the Galaxy go to the planet Xandar, where they'll find the Nova Core in ruins and the power gem gone. This is what will put them on the trail to following Thanos and finding Thor. Thor, who is now floating in space amidst the wreckage of his own ship. Cut to Earth and multiple attacks happen. Thanos sends his minions to try and steal the Time Gem from Doctor Strange and to try and steal the Mind Gem from Vision. Both attacks, however, will fail. Team Iron Man and Spider-Man will save Doctor Strange, and Team Cap will save the Vision and Scarlet Witch. Now all the Avengers on Earth know what's happening, and they know that a bigger bad is on the way. Back in space, Thanos goes to nowhere and steals the Reality Gem from the Collector. At this stage, the Guardians are probably hot on his trail, and they either lose a battle to him or just miss out on saving the Reality Gem. Either way, after this event, they split up, with half the team following Thanos, and Rocket and Groot going with Thor to create some kind of magic superweapon. Back on Earth, all of a sudden, Doctor Strange doesn't have the Time Gem anymore. We don't know what happened, he doesn't say what's happened, but he just doesn't have it. Meanwhile, Vision is sent to Wakanda, where Team Cap will make a last stand to try to defend him. At the same time, Team Iron Man and the other half of the Guardians team will head to the planet Titan, where they will fight Thanos as well. This is something the trailers show us without ever really telling us why they're all there. And this is where the alarm bells go off, because why would they go fight on Titan when they could be helping with the defense effort in Wakanda? Unless there's something as important as the Mind Gem and Vision on Titan as well. Something like another Infinity Gem. Something like the Soul Gem. And so we come rushing towards the final battles of the movie. Team Iron Man are trying to defend the Soul Stone on Titan, and Team Cap are trying to protect the Vision in Wakanda. At first, this united front might seem to go really well, but slowly, one by one, the Avengers will fall or flee, until all that's left is Captain America in Wakanda and Iron Man on Titan. Both will be killed. Thanos will take their lives.
And she's gone. The princess has been taken. This is indeed a horrible day for Canada, and therefore the rest of the world.
Afterwards, he'll claim the Soul Stone on Titan, and Vision will sacrifice himself to save the people of Wakanda, and give Thanos the Mind Stone. And Thanos, well, he'll pluck it right out of his forehead. Meanwhile, Thor will have finished crafting his weapon, but he's too late. He's the reinforcements that never came. But despite all that, Thanos still doesn't have the Time Gem, and no one knows where it is. So, the final shot of the movie will be him looking down at his gauntlet with 5 of the 6 sockets filled, and he'll say, That'll do. But now it's time for a post-credits scene, because Doctor Strange has hidden the time gem in the quantum realm, and there will be discovered by Ant-Man in his follow-up movie to the Avengers. And that means that Avengers 4 will be a time travel movie, where the Avengers B-Team, who Thanos didn't even deem good enough to be worthy of killing, will have to go back in time to try and save the day. Think Legends of Tomorrow, but with a budget. It's gonna be awesome.